Program complete. Auto-engage time sequence synchronized.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the episode of Jamie Plays with me, Jamie. Today we're going to be taking a first look at Dune Does It Power, a new total conversion mod for Stellaris that is based off of the Dune universe. So let's just kind of dive right in. This is an alpha release, so it's not in its final forms. It has been officially released to the public though, for feedback and for comments and things, so if you want to, definitely download this mod from the link in the description below. But let's dive right in. So, if we look over here, we've got some Dune-specific factions. So we've got the United Cities of Arrakis, House Carino, House Harkonnen, House Ikaz, the Ixian Confederacy, House Riches, the Spacing Guild, the Combine Honet Ober Advancer Mercantiles, and the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood as well. Below there, at the moment, we have kind of races and standard empires from Stellaris. So again, this is still in the alpha version. However, we are going to go for this one. We're going to go for the Fremen, and go right there. We're going to leave all of this on Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do Grand Admiral. So I'm not very familiar with the Dune universe. I'm going to lower it down to Commodore, and see how things go. Otherwise, I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to leave it as it is, and just press play here. So this mod has just recently been released for alpha. It's currently on the 0.8 version, for Stellaris version 4.1.5, and we are going to kind of dive into this mod. So, you're at the head of a religious movement, with Paul Atreides as the messianic figure, threatening to sweep across the galaxy in a holy war that could claim billions of lives. You manage the Jihad against House Carino and the Great Houses for control of the Imperium. While looking outward for conquest, you must also look inward to maintain high asabiya among your people. That is the shared beliefs, faiths, practices that act as cultural glue, keeping your tribe cohesive and united in purpose. Risk that, and risk the future of humanity. You also face several external challenges from the start. Space travel remains under the monopoly of the Spacing Guild, limiting your expansion options. Large-scale space warfare is non-existent, forcing you to extend the Jihad primarily through ground conquests. Beyond the Guild, you must also contend with the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, always plotting in the shadows, and CHOAM, the corporate consortium controlling interstellar commerce. At the heart of this trade lies Zro, the most valuable substance in the known universe. Its commerce generates immeasurable wealth for those involved in it, unlocks interstellar navigation for the Guild, allows the Sisterhood to perform their rites, and extends the lifespan of the Imperial elite. Like the Fremen themselves, the entire Imperium depends critically on the substance, control of which you first need to secure. That control begins here on Arrakis, the source of Zero production, where Modib, having unified the Fremen cities, must now claim the planet by defeating Raban and the Harkonian occupation forces in the first battle for Arrakis. So we're going to say begin. Looks like we're already starting at war, and I guess this battle is already happening. This ground invasion is already happening. So we are going to say no tutorial, because we don't need this. So physics research, I guess let's go for maybe hyperdrive 1. No progress. Let's also go for... Well, so we don't really need to worry about fleets so much in this mod. It's not really about big space battles. It's more about kind of ground battles and things. So I guess let's go for you first. No, actually, let's go for you. And then here... Yeah, we don't even have a Corvette yet. Maybe let's do army damage. Yep. And then we've got available council positions. So let's do the Master of Assassins. We've got the High Naib. Stability, army sorting experience. We've got the Swordmaster, army damage, army upkeep. The Reverend Mother, leadership experience gain. Ethics shift chance, envoy improve relations. We've got the High Priest for stability, spiritual ethics attraction, and monthly unity. The Minister of Spice increases our production of Zro. Max mining districts, monthly Solaris increase as well. And I assume Solaris is... Oh no, it's not energy. It is separate. Okay. Then we've got the High Ambassador, Head of Research, Minister for Defense, Minister of State, the Lord Commander, Orbital of Duels. Why don't we go for the Master of Assassins? That's definitely Dune. Um, Lady Jessica. I think she's supposed to be our mother. So I think I'm gonna leave her not the Master of Assassins. Maybe let's go for you instead. Planetary Governor, Army Upkeep reduced. Yeah, let's maybe Defensive Planner for you, and then I will select you. Here, let's go for the Reverend Mother. And I will definitely put you here. Infiltration speed. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for Spycraft 2. When assigned, oh yeah, assigned to a council position, and then agenda speed. So infiltration speed and operation cost. Yeah, so you'd be perfect for that role. Let's then go for the Army starting experience, army cost, governing ethics attraction, army damage, army upkeep, army starting experience. Okay, I'm gonna choose these two for right now. And we might change that. So this gives us, that's army effects, orbital defense army, sorry, planetary defense armies and orbital bombardment damage increase as accounts. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's maybe put Master of Assassins. Well, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Um, you army build speed, army build cost, army health, crime. Yeah, but let's make you, yeah, maybe a fleet organizer, and select you. Oh, and our leader, our God Emperor, champion of the people or fertility. Maybe let's go for fertility. We also only control a desert planet, so I think that food bonus would be very good. Oh, and we need to expand our we'll need to expand. So this is what things look like at the moment. We just literally have this army here. So I think all we can do. Oh yes, we are member of this federation. You know what? All we can do is humiliate, so that's what we're going to do. And then we've got an empire focus on conquest. Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like these are ours. So this is what the map looks like at the moment. I'm wondering, I actually don't think we're going to be doing that much exploring. I think we're literally just focusing on here. So, the sands drink deep of Harkonnen blood. The streets of Arrakeen choked by the carrion. Raban slaughtered in the process. Beast no more. Arrakis is ours, and the Fremen rejoice. The coming of Lisan al-Gaib has brought us together and sparked a sentiment of unity amongst our people. But our duty is far from done. We have news the Emperor Shaddam IV is amassing his Sardaukar legions and is expected that he will bring Harkonnen reinforcements too. Additionally, we must assess throw production facilities and inspect the planetary stockpiles to understand what reserves the Harkonnens left behind. So let's check the throw deposits. So starts the situation Arrakis besieged, but we gain a bunch of resources and modifiers there, which is great. So the deposits stand empty, the few scattered barrels, half-sealed containers, dust where mountains of spice should rest. The Harkonnens shipped everything off-world rather than let it fall into our hands. A healthy stockpile distinguishes a house, and minor and great houses alike maneuver endlessly to secure their share. Although we control the source now, production means little without reserves to back it. Everyone is watching, and sooner rather than later will notice how thin our stores run. We must amend this fast. So we've got... Ooh, pause. Arrakis, the bond that binds us. So the Fremen identity has endured for generations, but Lisan al-Gaib's coming reinforced what was already within us. Shared belief in his prophetic mission acted as a binding force that united all tribes under his banner, transforming scattered ashes into a unified people capable of overwhelming the Harkonnen oppressors. The golden path is laid before us and requires that We maintain our Abbasia, a shared purpose and cohesive identity that will keep our people united and help humanity survive. This bond transcends individual ambition and makes collective sacrifices possible. Without it, we are merely scattered tribes. With it, we become an unstoppable force. Conquering Arrakis was necessary, but our path leads further into a jihad that will spread Maudib's words across the known universe. We must maintain a high asabiya among our people, ensuring fervent devotion to the Mahdi's teachings. If we allow heathens and heretics to weaken the unity that binds us together, our strength will crumble, and with it, any hope of survival for our people or our species. So we've got several different situations here. I'm just noticing the music is not playing. Yeah, there we go. And let me just double check something quickly. Yeah, there we go. So we should be getting some music now. So we successfully fended off those invaders. You've leveled up. So let's make you a better defense. Or maybe make you a politician? Hold on. Every ship destroyed, every army killed. Defense planner, planetary governor. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so let's look at these situations. Arrakis besieged, all hands on deck. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do there. So the Zrop stockpile. Most important substance in the universe, and those who control it command immense wealth. They represent options when negotiations turn hostile, breathing room when supply lines falter, and the freedom to refuse terms that would compromise our position. The size of our stockpile is critical for our survival. We are currently low. What would make it high? I mean... And then here... Oh, okay. So we need to keep this high. If we can go very high, that would be better. So I guess we just need to make people more spiritual, and we need to stockpile Zro. We are losing food, however, I noticed. So we need to... Well, you know, maybe let's add in another agricultural district here. And specialize... So, consolidated state network. Resources produced from farmers plus 40%, unity from jobs plus 5%, building spots plus 3. Or we can just do the agricultural focus. Yeah, let's... So, you know, let's just do food. Although, I wonder if this is from the base game. And actually, I should do... You know what? Let's not do that. Let's do this instead. And then we need more housing. So we're going to build... Yeah, that would be plus 1,000 housing. So let's do that. And then here, we've got a mineral purification plant. Foraging hub. Turns food into Zro and reduce pop growth speed. Oh, reduce pop growth speed. Okay. Surface quarry, and then we've got a harvester depot. And the processing plant. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. Let's do the mineral purification plant for right now. Also, are there any decisions we have? Arrakis for the Fremen expels up to 1k pops from the planet to reduce overcrowding. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. Ooh. I just clicked something by accident, and that's not what I meant to do. Damn, I meant to just scroll down. Excess population, planetary defense headquarters, ream nuclear weapons. Our nuclear weapons have been... Oh, sorry, rearm nuclear weapons and are ready for deployment. Decision, fill up food silos. Stability, monthly growth pop. Yeah, so what did I just do? I think I clicked something by accident. Maybe I didn't know. Well, let's see. Traditions available. It looks like we've got the base Stellaris ones. So what I will do, we need to fight ground stuff. This is more ship build speed, naval capacity. Unyielding. I think this is the one we need. Defense armies, produce unity. Star bases, defense capacity, politics. Enmity. is second strike. Nothing with armies there. So actually, I think, yeah, we're going to go with unyielding first. I think. Yeah, let's try it.
Council agenda available.
Okay, so we've got a new council agenda, which we might launch later. You are also an official. You're good for encryption, empire size effect. Yeah, that's great. We can make you a politician or principled. Let's do a politician. Oh, hold on. Let's also look at that council, because the government, Master of Assassins. Yeah, you know what? We'll just leave that for now. So, the Quizarte. Quizarate? I hope I'm saying that right. The Sayadinas have guided Fremen spiritually for centuries, preserving traditions with their sages. This decentralized system served us well as scattered desert tribes, but it cannot maintain high asabiya across the entire planet, where Fremen and Imperial subjects now live together, let alone coordinate the millions who will spread Muad'Dib's word across the known universe. Unlike the Great Houses, we lack the administrative machinery to govern populations of the scale. We need an institution that can fulfill both functions, promoting and preserving the spiritual unity that binds us and managing the practical realities of Empire. The Kizarate will serve this purpose, a centralized religious bureaucracy that fuses political and spiritual authority under the Mahdi, transforming our faith from local tradition into an instrument of governance. The authority we grant it will determine how effectively it enforces orthodoxy, maintains asabiya, coordinates the faithful across worlds, and provides administrative structure. And the administrative structure our expanding empire requires. Without it, we fragment. With it, we endure. So we've got a policy on spiritual guidance is set to the Kizarate leadership and starts this new situation. Serves as a religious authority for our empire, interpreting sacred law and guiding the faithful. The priests shape public doctrine. With their influence determines whether our rule draws legitimacy from faith or reason. Managing their power requires delicate balance between spiritual authority and secular governance. So if we go all the way, we get a theocratic takeover. If we keep it low income and expenditure, -10, research speed also reduced, monthly resources reduced, but influence, ethics shift chance, and spiritual ethics attraction are all increased. Yeah, so I guess it just depends what we actually want there. So let's unpause. Oh, Imperial arrival. Imperial transport ships have entered the system. Disgorging regiment after regiment of Sardaukar legions, the Emperor's finest, now preparing for planetfall. Time is ticking. Additional dropships bearing the sigil House Harkonnen have joined the Imperial fleet. Baron Vladimir has committed substantial forces to supporting the Sardaukar assault. Let them come together. They will fail together. So, yeah, we've got these transport ships that are, I guess, arriving. So Lady Jessica has given birth to a child, a girl who has received the name Alia. After only a few moments of crying, she looked with focused eyes around the birthing room, as if taking in every detail of her surrounding with an intelligence far beyond her years. With curious life, she drank the water of conception fed to her by Hera, her godmother, accepting the sacred ritual as she understood its profound significance. Great. So, yeah, we've definitely got... Okay. This is the new outcome. So, the Empire calls it justice. The Harkonnen call it vengeance. The Guild calls it stability, but we call it theft. Correction of Zrow that comes with the sacred Shai Hulud, which shapes the desert that shaped us, whose presence makes Arrakis itself, and without whom there would be no spice, no Fremen. And yet, here they come again, sons and daughters of Dune. Here they descend to our planet, armored in arrogance and blind to the sandstorm that will bury them. They come to take what is rightfully ours. Fight, sons and daughters of Dune. Fight, for today we destroy the Emperor's forces. Okay, so the room crackles with reports. The victory in one sector, a rout in another. Aides whisper frantic logistical needs. Mentats run calculations as new data comes in and tacticians argue over hollow maps, their voices a tense counterpoint. Choosing the wrong strategy could cost us the planet. What are your orders? Okay, so I've never seen Dune. We can assault, we can advance. Why don't we entrench? I think that's probably... No, maybe defend. Let's try defend. Okay, so the same thing again. Oh, it's a different... maybe defend. Okay, I'm clicking it. Oh, yeah, maybe I just need to press leave then. And we shall see what happens. So, farming. Currently due to enemy occupation. Yeah, okay, so we need to fight this first. So, we've also got this tradition available. Let's do defense army health increased by 25%. That makes a lot of sense. I guess we just watch this invasion. And it looks like we failed. The desert... Arrakis has fallen. The sacred desert, source of the spice melange, is no longer under our control. Without the desert planet, without the worms, without the spice, we are nothing. The Fremen scatter to the deep desert, and our empire crumbles like sand in the wind. Oh, okay. Well, I've already lost the game. So I'm thinking what we probably should have done is built a lot of armies. So you know what? Why don't we try that? I'm going to say quit. Exit to main menu. And let's try again. Stay with Commodore. Play. And so it will load. And then what we will do...
Aliens have formed an unholy compact.
Yeah, so missing goal. We're going to humiliate you. I'll do the research again. Not that I think this will actually do much of anything, but you never know. I guess let's go for the Corvette this time. And then on Arrakis, let's still do our specializations and things like we had them before. But armies. We need to build more armies. So our commander, let's make you a defensive planner. In our council, we absolutely need you to... Council agenda speed, maybe. We'll unlock Master of Assassins. Actually, hold on. Well, yeah, Master of Assassins. Code Breaking, Empire. We need armies. You know what? We'll go for you. I guess Council agenda speed. And then here, let's do the Reverend Mother. And that's you. And let's go for the Spycraft 2. And then here, let's... this one is army damage. So you know what? Let's go for that one. Army damage. And then let's... Army build speed... Army damage taken plus 5%, but plus 20% damage. Let's try... Actually... No, let's just put you there. And then here, let's assign... you. If we say... Yeah, I don't know. Champion of the People, maybe? Not that either really helps at the moment. So let's just... Let's finish this.
We have defeated a heathen invasion attempt.
So I've read all of these already, so I'm not going to read them again. Let's read the reports. So that's those done. What I'd like to do now is recruit a bunch of armies. Hold on. I guess let's give you an upgrade, since you have upgraded. Defense Planner 2. And then... Oh, build queue. Hold on. Yeah, recruitment. So these ones do more damage. You take Zro, and the upkeep is half. Let's do that. And then let's... build as many of these as possible, and then let's try to buy some... I'm going to sell these like that, so I can buy some food. Great. So, yep, we've sorted that. We are building a bunch of stuff here. We've got some devastation going on. Yeah, we can't build anything because of the mine, because we sold that, which is fine. Oh, Harkonnen reinforcements, that's fine. So, can we... Yeah, land armies there. So yeah, let them come together, and they've been born. Hold on, why are we embarking all? Deploy in orbit. Yeah, we don't want that. These ones, we're going to land you back there. Along the little finders. Okay, let's try maybe advancing. Issue the order to advance. And see what that does for us. Oh yeah, okay.
Council.
Victory. Great, okay, so that worked. So, they came in formations and had broken armies across 100 worlds. The Sardaukar legions, the Empire's finest, descending on Arrakis, with Harkonnen reinforcements at their flanks. They expected terror, they expected collapse, they found Fremen. The sand ran red with Imperial blood, every sitch emptied its warriors, every rider struck with precision born of desert survival. The Sardaukar, who had never known defeat, learned it here. Their discipline meant nothing against fighters who understood this world in ways no off-world could match. With the last Imperial banner fell, when the final Sardaukar commander lay dead in the sand, the truth became undeniable. We had broken the unbreakable. Arrakis is ours, secured, united. The Fremen stand as one people under Muad'Dib, and the galaxy has seen the result of that. But victory on Arrakis was never the end, it was only the beginning. And now we take arms against the aggressor and liberate the galaxy in the name of Muad'Dib. So continue the Jihad. And we declare war on House Corino. Great. The Green Paradise. And so it begins. The Fremen were promised the Green Paradise. Worlds where water falls from the sky. That promise will be kept. The Jihad has momentum now. Faith and conviction that cannot be contained. Every world will learn what the Sardaukar learned. The path forward requires more than battle-won conviction. A delegation composed of Bene Gesserit sisters, guild navigators, and the CHOAM representatives is on its way. They have come to negotiate terms. The Jihad may burn across the stars, but it burns on fuel these factions control, such as interstellar transport or trade. Before the Holy War can truly begin, we must secure what only they can provide. Okay. So, lots of levels up. Champion of the People Skirmisher. Maybe let's do Skirmisher. And then you are... I guess a general? Yeah, you're going to be a general. And then council agenda, let's launch you and let's expand the council. Get rid of those. Traditions available, let's definitely go for unyielding.
Council agenda available.
And then let's do the defense army health as well. Get rid of that. Pops are declining on Arrakis. Why is that? Oh, we definitely need to go like that, and then disable due to, yeah, enemy occupation. Okay, so let's definitely build that. So, the Triune Delegation. The Imperium of the known universe exists as a complex weave of weights and counterweights, checks and balances that constrain authority. No single faction dominates absolutely, not even the Emperor, whose political power is checked by that of the Landsrat. Each constrains the other through mutual dependence and shared interest in stability, ensuring a fragile but effective truth that is held for millennia. The Spacing Guild controls all interstellar travel, and without their navigators, no trade or army can cross the void between stars. CHOAM's commercial networks span every network, and without access to their infrastructure, even Arrakis' wealth remains locked away from the market that gives it value. The Bene Gesserit have finally achieved the coming of their long-pursued Kwisatz Haderach. Unfortunately for them, we are not theirs to command. Despite that, their spiderweb runs deep across the Empire, and they are a dangerous adversary. The truth is, our recently gained ability renders the Sisterhood useless to us, making them the weakest link and a nuisance, but even weakened, they are still dangerous, and moving against them will require precision. In fact, we could aim to destroy these factions outright, but a direct attack on any one would cause the other two to rebel out of self-preservation. Furthermore, we are in absolute need of the Guild and CHOAM, so if we want to dismantle them, we need to erode their power gradually through skilled diplomacy and governance. So let's talk to these sisters. The Bene Gesserit have worked for 90 generations toward a single goal, Kwisatz Haderach, a male Bene Gesserit who could bridge space and time with his prescience. Through careful manipulation of bloodlines and dynasties across the Imperium, through marriages arranged and children conceived according to their exacting specifications, they've guided humanity towards this culmination, and they've succeeded. The Kwisatz Haderach stands before them, but he will not be theirs to control. Paul raises his voice. Observe her, comrades. This is the Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother. Patient in a patient calls. She could wait with her sisters 90 generations for the proper combination of genes and environment to produce only the one person their schemes required. Observe her. She knows that the 90 generations have produced that person. Here I stand, but I will never do her bidding. Jessica, the old woman screamed. Silence him. Silence him yourself, Jessica said. Paul glared at the old woman. For your part in all of this, I could gladly have you strangled, he said. You couldn't prevent it, he snapped as she stiffened in rage. But I think it better punishment that you live out your years, never able to touch me or bend me to a single thing your scheming desires. Jessica, what have you done? The old woman demanded. I give you only one thing, Paul said. You think to control human breeding and intermix a select few according to your master plan. How little you understand of what. You mustn't speak of these things, the old woman hissed. We are going to argue. Reverend Mother, you begin, keeping your voice measured. Your order has worked for generations to produce me. You succeeded beyond your expectations. I am everything your breeding program promised and more. There's one thing you failed to account for in all your careful genetic manipulation. The old woman's eyes narrow. What is that? That I would be able to see through every scheme, every manipulation, every carefully laid plan. I know what you are, I know what you want, and I know what you will never have. I know you will never have it. The Sisterhood's influence reaches deep into the Imperial governance through two primary channels. Their Missionario Protectiva has planted religious narratives across countless worlds, preparing populations for manipulation. Their advisors sit beside rulers throughout the known universe, whispering counsel that serves the Sisterhood's agenda. These arrangements were made long before our uprising, but they need not continue unchanged. We will review these policies and determine what role, if any, the Bene Gesserit will play in our empire. Let's talk about the Missionaria Protectiva. It represents centuries of Bene Gesserit infiltration. Their agents have seeded countless worlds with superstitions designed to protect Sisterhood operatives, planting legends that cast them as holy figures rather than foreign manipulators. Every myth that spreads serves the Sisterhood's agenda first, creating networks of influence that answer to them, not any legitimate authority. We could tolerate their continued presence, allowing them to maintain their web of planted narratives across the Imperium. It costs us nothing, but leaves their infrastructure intact. Alternatively, we can dismantle their operation entirely, transferring religious indoctrination to the Kazate, where it serves our purpose rather than theirs, or we could reject organized manipulation altogether, eliminating both their influence and the apparatus they built. Each choice requires a different expenditure of political capital. Why don't we... Let's try and transfer their competences. Reverend Mother, you begin, keeping your voice measured. Your order has worked for generations to produce me. You succeeded beyond your expectations. I am everything your breeding program promised and more. There's one thing you failed to account for in all your... Oh, we've already read this. Okay, so now we're going to discuss their role as political advisors. They've embedded their sisters in courts throughout the Imperium as advisors and soothsayers. They claim to serve the rulers they counsel, but their actual loyalty belongs to the Sisterhood's breeding schemes and long-term manipulation. Every whispered suggestion, every detected lie, every diplomatic maneuver serves purposes we cannot see and did not authorize. Their presence means decisions are influenced by agendas that run counter to our own. We could leave them in peace, accepting their continued presence in positions of influence. It costs nothing, but allows them to maintain their grip on imperial politics. We could replace them with our own clerics, whose loyalty is unquestionable. The displacing entrenched sisters' advisors require significant political effort. The question is whether removing their access to power is worth the cost of doing so. I think yes, let's try. The Imperium of the known universe exists as a complex weave... Oh yeah, okay. So let's talk to the Spacing Guild delegates now. The Butler and Jihad against thinking machines shattered humanity's ability to traverse the stars safely. Without their ability to calculate navigation, space travel became a lottery of death. Ships vanished into the void, entire fleets miscalculated and burned into stellar coronas. Commerce collapsed, worlds went silent. For generations, humanity endured a dark age of isolation, each planet a prison unto itself, cut off from the civilization that had once spanned galaxies. Salvation came through the marriage of two technologies. The Holtzman engine could fold space, but folding space blind meant annihilation. The old navigators, transformed both physically and mentally by massive spice consumption into presentient beings, could see the safe path through folded space that regular pilots could not. Together, these innovations restored interstellar travel and reconnected humanity. Their impact was so profound that the Imperial calendar itself restarted at their founding. All history is now reckoned AG, after Guild. They became the foundation upon which it stands. This makes them arguably the most powerful faction in the known universe and simultaneously the most vulnerable. The spacing Guild navigators consume spice in quantities that dwarf all other users. Without throw, their prescience fades. Without prescience, navigation becomes impossible. Without navigation, the Imperium fragments back into isolated darkness. That dependence is both their strength and their greatest weakness. So we're going to negotiate their neutrality. We've received your request, Atreides, begins the taller one before they even reach us. The Guild does not recognize your authority and does not take your orders. It doesn't wait for a response. We control every ship that enters or leaves the system, every troop transport that could threaten your position, every cargo vessel that could supply your forces. The message resonates in the hall as he lets the weight of their statement settle. His posture shifts slightly, the edge to his voice slightly softer. The Guild has proudly maintained neutrality for millennia. We are not willing to change that today, but understand this. Neutrality has a price. The second envoy produces a data slate, 5 units of Zero monthly, delivered directly to Guild facilities. This sustains our navigators and guarantees our neutrality. Your forces receive the same transport priority as any other faction, no preferential treatment. Additionally, the first continues, current instability on Arrakis creates significant navigational complications, increased risk, increased cost. We require a 70% fee on all commercial goods entering or leaving your markets. Standard rates resume when production stabilizes. So we can accept it. We can sweeten the deal. So it's 60% instead of 70%, but we'd need to spend 100 Zero right now, which we can do, or pressure them to 50%. Actually, we could pressure them and only make it 50%. You know what? Let's try that.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
The Imperium of the known universe exists as a complex... Okay. Yep, now let's talk to the representatives. So the Combine, Honet, Ober, Advancer, Mercantiles stand as the most powerful commercial entity in the known universe. CHOAM's absolute monopoly on interstellar trade extends across every habited world, controlling the flow of goods through a vast network of distribution centers, shipping contracts, and trade agreements that binds the Imperium together. At the heart of their power lies the spice, the single most valuable commodity in existence, and CHOAM's charter grants them exclusive right to its distribution. Every faction depends on them, every great house holds shares in their enterprise, and the Emperor himself is their largest shareholder. Their power is not that of armies or prescience, but of financial might, the lifeblood that sustains civilization across the stars. The CHOAM delegation arrives in garments that speak of centuries of accumulated wealth, rich fabrics, subtle symbols of their charter, ornaments that cost more than entire planetary economies. Every clothing choice is a deliberate one which, they hope, can make an impression on us. However, there is no secret to the cards we both hold. We are in control of the only source of Zero production in the known universe. They still control distribution and channels through which that wealth must pass. Neither of us can function without the other, and they know it as well as we do. The question is who will extract better terms from this mutual dependence. So let's discuss it. Paul Atreides, the lead delegate, inclines his head with precise calculation. CHOAM congratulates the Fremen on their recent transition of authority on Arrakis. We recognize that circumstances have changed and commerce must adapt to new realities. He adjusts his sleeves with deliberate care. You will understand, of course, that access to interstellar markets is a matter of interest to parties beyond CHOAM itself. Our shareholders take a particular view of stability in this regard, even the Emperor. The great houses, powers with whom you yourself presently are at conflict, lest we forget. Yet despite such complications, commerce must flow. Trade cannot pause for politics. We find ourselves in the fortunate position of speaking not merely for the Combine, but for the collective commerce interests of the Imperium. A useful alignment in uncertain times, we trust you'll agree. Now that we have properly exchanged our courtesies, he said, producing a data slate with practice efficiency, considering the current instability and associated risk, we propose a special transaction fee of 70%, in addition to the standard market fee of 30%, of course, on all goods bought or sold through CHOAM channels. This reflects current market conditions and compensates for the substantial risk. I'm going to pressure them. Yeah, might as well. 50%. The dealer reviews the data slate with evident satisfaction. The transaction fee agreement is acceptable. We're pleased to reach this understanding. However, there remains a more critical matter, the spice itself. CHOAM has maintained a presence on Arrakis for millennia, he continues. We assess galactic demand, establishing pricing standards, coordinate distribution across thousands of worlds. Without our brokers and traders operating on Arrakis itself, we wouldn't have the data required to evaluate, price, and orchestrate off-world trading. This presence is not a request, it's a requirement for functional commerce. The second delegate adds smoothly, we required formal establishment of a CHOAM charter on Arrakis, a permanent commercial office with authority to monitor and price all off-world service transactions. This is a standard procedure for any commodity of strategic importance. As for pricing, current market assessments suggest significant reduced valuations. There are rumors of synthetic alternatives in development, unconfirmed naturally, but such speculation affects pricing nonetheless. Given these market pressures and the current uncertainties surrounding Arrakis production, we propose an exchange rate of 1 to 7. 7 Stellaris per unit of spice, exported through CHOAM channels. I'm going to pressure them again. Yeah, pressure them. We have the influence. And it looks like... Oh, your status is dominant, as is the trading spacing guilds, but hopefully we can reduce that even further. So, new research. Maybe we don't actually do research, that's fine. Pops are declining here. I mean, we definitely need to build more housing, but it looks like a lot of that's from devastation as well. So let's get rid of that. And then here, let's go for... defense against hostile operations. No, let's go for that one, like that. Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to put a cut here. I'm interested in seeing what else is going to happen in this playthrough. So I am going to kind of continue this one. I do hope that you've enjoyed this first look at Dune Desert Power. If you have, definitely please remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you next time for an episode of Jamie Plays. Bye for now.